You're listening to The John and Heidi Show. Now, featuring the wit and wisdom of Dan Ferris.
Okay, dudes, let's walk this sucker.
On Sunny 93.3.
It's the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Ferris. Thanks for listening. Good day to you, Dan, on a Wednesday? It's a Wednesday. Holy cow. I noticed you took a drink. I was trying to buy some time for you there. And
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Probably did a terrible job of that.
Appreciate the support.
It's team effort.
It's a Wednesday. Big show coming up. Grand Falls Casino Resort.
Yes, I'm
the
excited
24th.
for this one.
Tickets for that. We'll get to that in, momentarily. Here.
Yeah.
Taking care of business. And you know what? I'm not down with this national celebration.
What's that?
I don't agree with it even a little bit. Okay. It's National Cream-Filled Donut Day.
Oh, yeah.
Here's my problem with this.
Okay.
Think donut.
Yeah.
There's a hole in the middle.
There's no such thing as a cream-filled donut.
Yeah, that's right. It's
true.
a roll.
See?
So it's not
It's
a
a roll,
donut.
cream-filled roll.
So you
That's
are agreeing with me.
I do agree with you
completely.
that the definition is incorrect.
Heads will roll, Dan. Heads will roll.
As soon as I saw it, red flags were just popping up everywhere.
Yeah.
Rightfully so.
That's
It's like,
true.
who's in charge with, it's like, because it'd be called, I don't know what it'd be called, but it can't be a donut because there's no hole in
It
it.
would be a cream-filled
Correct.
roll.
Okay.
That's a roll.
All right, we'll get to the bottom of this. Somebody's going to do some hard time.
They should.
That's all there is to it. Birthdays today, celebrity speaking. Wow, tragic, because you know what? I was kind of a fan. Dug her voice, dug the vibe, the whole darn thing. Amy Winehouse.
Yeah.
Born this day, passed, 2011.
Yeah.
And it's ironic, one of her biggest hits. Go to rehab. I said, no. Bad
Yeah.
choice, Amy.
Yeah, you should have said
she
yes,
should've
yes,
gone,
yes.
She should have gone.
Bad choice.
Way sad.
Walter Koenig is 86 today.
Okay.
Ringing any bells, John, Heidi?
I've heard the name, but I don't know why.
Okay. Ensign Chekhov in Star Trek.
Okay.
Okay.
He was Chekhov, the original series, and he went through, the first couple of movies and everything.
Yeah, okay.
I believe he's 86 years old.
Holy cow.
Wow.
And the original TV Lone Ranger, Clayton Moore, born this day. That doesn't excite you even.
Clayton Moore. He was the original Lone Ranger?
Was there more than one?
Yeah.
I guess I wasn't aware there was more than one.
Not on TV. They've done several films and whatnot, but
Yeah.
Clayton Moore, he was all that and a
He
side of
was.
fries. In fact, it was in the 70s that a Los Angeles court actually ordered him to stop wearing the Lone Ranger mask.
Yeah, you told us about that.
Yeah,
which was
yeah.
pretty funny.
Did he
That's
just-
hilarious.
Then he
kept
ended up
wearing
as a realtor in Minneapolis.
That's hilarious.
Called
Did he wear his mask in Minneapolis as a realtor?
Ranger Realty. Yeah, probably.
That's so
Why
funny.
not? But yeah, it's close to me. As you may or may not know, and this was compliments of Heidi, which was actually hilarious. I ran into some little health things earlier this year, and Heidi nicknamed me Chemo Sabi,
That's
Yes,
right.
I
Yeah.
did.
which was hilarious, considering I was actually going through chemo treatments, and nothing's funnier than that. So, yeah, the name stuck. I told my kids, Luke and Sadie, Heidi just called me Chemo Sabi, and they just lost it. It's like,
Let's go, Chemo
that
Sabi.
is hilarious. So, yeah, without Clayton Moore and the Lone Ranger, I never would have gotten that handle, and, things just kind of motor on. Historically speaking, some extremely, really exciting sort of stuff, maybe, I guess, and possibly not. Again, you have to ask yourself, who steps up for this kind of thing, and what exactly was said during this? 1936, this day, the first prefrontal lobotomy in the United States is performed.
Yeah.
George Washington University Hospital in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
That became kind of a common procedure.
Yeah. Take
like-
out part of your brain.
It's like, hey, it's gonna calm you down.
Yeah.
It sure is,
It's going to do something, all right.
because it's part of your brain.
Yeah.
Look how well behaved Nancy is now.
Yeah.
She was rather shrewish before that.
And now she just kind of drools
Isn't
on
that
herself.
nice?
Not good.
Uncle
Not
Phil just
good.
sits there now, staring at the goldfish.
Yikes.
Yeah, they kind of backed up on that a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Out of the world of technology, it was 1956, and this was huge. IBM introduces the Ramic 305. That would be the first commercial computer with a hard drive using magnetic disk storage.
Oh, wow.
Yes, you could get one for the office, the workplace. Just weighed in at a little over a ton.
Holy cow.
People were not walking around with them staring at them at lunchtime.
No, it's a lot different than what we've got today. So.
And this is huge. It was 1814. rather talented young fella named Francis Scott Key pens a little poem while witnessing the bombardment of Fort McHenry while standing on a ship in Baltimore Harbor. He titles it Defense of Fort McHenry. It would later be retitled The Star-Spangled Banner.
Aw, I've heard of that.
Oh, I love the Star Spangled Banner.
Well, that's how it started. I just thought that was...
We were at a vacation place a few days ago, and we're sitting outside on our little deck, and all of a sudden, from a few houses down, a whole group of people started singing the Star Spangled Banner.
Sitting around a
at like
campfire in the Black
10 o'clock
Hills.
at night.
Okay.
It was really neat. We're sitting on our deck, and we could hear all these people just singing.
We're sitting around a campfire and we go,
Out of nowhere.
What was that?
Yeah.
And they're singing the national anthem.
It was
We're like,
pretty
"What was that?"
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. Here's just Francis Scott Key literally standing on a ship watching the bombardment of a fort.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm going to take a couple notes here. Draft a little poem here.
Yeah.
And that's
I'm glad he did.
Came to be.
It's really cool.
So there you go. All right. I know, you know, we all know. And the Key Wasabi. That's funny.
It is funny.
That's funny right
That's
there,
Heidi.
Heidi.
That's Heidi.
You're a disturbed woman.
She is indeed.
And that's why we love you. All right. We can just bounce ahead here.
Gonna do that. It is the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Ferris.
Join us in October for The Sands, a week of music and fun that's been described as the best week ever by many of our guests. This year, we have more icons and more fun. Culture Club, The Cult, Loverboy, Belinda Carlisle, Lou Graham, Vanilla Ice, Samantha Fox, Firehouse, and many more. Plan to join us October 25th through the 30th at Planet Hollywood Beach Resort in Cancun, Mexico. This all-inclusive event will be the time of your life. Learn more now at radiotravelgroup.com.
Time now for Back to the Basics in Healthcare with Dr. Harley from Balanced Life Chiropractic. How you doing, Dr. Harley?
Hey, John. I'm doing fantastic. Definitely loving the cooler weather that's ahead. I mean, summer's fun, but definitely.
Fall is a lot of fun. This is one of my favorite. I guess I kind of like spring, too, because then all winter you're cold and you're finally getting warm. But the thing I like about this is it's just like you're not hot, you're not cold. It's just right.
Very true.
And first of all, happy second anniversary to Balanced Life Chiropractic. When was the official day?
It was the 8th, so September 8th. So, yeah, it's been an exciting ride. We've been open for 2 years. We've seen a lot of amazing health changes in the last 2 years. It's been a fun ride, and we can't wait for more years to come and helping more people.
I think that's awesome. And when it comes to health, everybody has kind of a different definition in their mind of what health care is and what health is. So let's talk about what your basis of health care and what health means to you.
Yeah, I like asking all of my new patients, what is health, or what does it mean to be healthy to them? What do you think, John? What does health look like to you?
For me, it's just not being in pain, because if I'm in pain, I feel like I must not be doing something right.
And that's the most common answer I get for most people is a lot of people base their health on how we feel. It's like, well, if I feel good today or don't feel good tomorrow, like the other day, like I'm not healthy then at that point, but I'm healthy the days I feel good. But a lot of times health, like the feeling aspect of it can kind of give us a false sense of security. Because if you think about it, most people don't know they have heart disease until it's in the later stages. Yeah. But they had to start somewhere. And it's kind of one of those, if we started earlier, preventing health problems to begin with, we'd be a lot healthier in the long run.
So the feeling bad is kind of one of the last things. So there's all kinds of stuff happening way before I ever feel it.
Exactly. There's so many disease processes, there's so many functions in our body that have no symptoms. We can't necessarily tell how our stomach's functioning or our kidneys until they're not working, right? So it's kind of like if we wait until they're not working, then that's been going on long enough. It's going to take a while to start correcting it. So I look at health a little bit differently, and I actually looked up the definition of health once. It was a state of being without disease or injury. Now, most people know when they don't have injuries, right? Yeah. But we don't always know when we don't have disease, especially in the early stages of it. So I kind of look at that aspect for health and looking more at how's your body working? How's it functioning? Is it functioning at 100%, 100% of the time? That is true optimal health.
And that would be probably pretty tough for most people to be at 100% of the time, but that's the goal.
Right, that's ideal, perfect health. Most people are probably running at 60, 70%, but all the time. Or sometimes maybe they're 100%, but only 60% of the time. And that other 40%, they're kind of all over the place, right? Look at your body like a car or a machine in any shape or form. If your car wasn't running at max performance, we probably would want to get it tuned up, fixed up. Most people do, right? Obviously, some people take better care of their bodies and their cars, and some people are the opposite. They take better care of their cars than themselves. But regardless, like, we only get one body. If we don't take care of it, it's not going to last us, 90 some years. That's kind of the average lifespan. I think it's like 83 or something right now, but it's supposed to last that long. But if we don't take care of it when we're younger, it's going to be a lot harder getting to that point.
And I suppose the same thing could be thought, like when you think about a car, if you go in and have your oil change done at the right times, and you get the brake pads changed and do all of the things you're supposed to do, you probably don't have breakdowns. But if you don't do those things and you only respond when there are breakdowns, and when it comes to health, it's probably the same thing. If I take care of myself long term and I don't have the breakdowns, rather than waiting until, hey, Dr. Harley, can you fix this?
Right. Maintenance is much easier. It's much cheaper than having to do a big fix because something actually has broken down. So that's one thing I really talk with the patients is more about preventative health care or maintenance care, making sure that we're keeping your health where we want it versus waiting for it to start falling apart.
If somebody listening is going, boy, I really could probably use some help with my health care and finding a way to have that maintenance plan and to take care of myself rather than waiting for the breakdowns, how do they get a hold of you here at Balanced Life Chiropractic?
They can give us a call at 605-215-1785 or shoot us a message on our Facebook page, Balanced Life Chiropractic. We'd love to chat and let you know how we can help you.
Very nice. You can also find them online. Their website, once again, balancedlifesd.com.
If you watch the news, you've probably heard about interest rate hikes and other financial factors that could make you a bit nervous. At BetterCreditCards.com, we continue our commitment to help you get a better credit card. On the website, BetterCreditCards.com, we have different kinds of credit cards, some with better points and perks, some designed to help you build your credit. Whatever stage of life you happen to be in, we want to help. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
And now stuff Dan finds interesting. Yeah.
It is time for Stuff Dan Finds Interesting. Dan, what do you find interesting on this Wednesday?
Yeah, I got to take care of some business.
Okay.
Some serious Sunny 93.3 business. Because it's Wednesday.
It is Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. Got to give a little something away. They're coming. Generation Radio going to be hitting the events hall. Grand Falls Casino Saturday, September 24th.
That is next Saturday.
Yeah. We're giving away
cow.
pairs of tickets for that. Value? $1 million.
Priceless.
Yes, there you go. Priceless. This band is made up of some superstars from other fantastic bands over the years, including Rascal Flatts, Tom Petty's Heartbreakers.
I can't wait. I'm actually, I
Journey,
hardly ever get
Megadeth.
super excited for the concerts. I'm excited
Kenny
for this
Loggins
one.
Band. A lot of very talented folks.
Josie and the Pussycats.
We should play that song. We should play my favorite song.
All right, we'll play that.
Yeah.
We will. All right. Let's not get all caught up here. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would, a polite round of applause for this week's winner, Jeremy Anderson.
Nice.
Got a pair of ticks to the show, Jeremy. We'll have those at will call for you. So
Absolutely.
There you go. Now you know. This I find interesting because I happen to be here at the very onset of this. And oh man, there was like brouhaha galore going on talking about South Dakota video lottery.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a most recent report. We'll get to that in just a second. Were you aware that when South Dakota's video lottery hit first, I mean, it's like, yeah, go play. That was October of 1989.
I remember that. I was just a kid.
Yeah.
I couldn't even gamble yet.
Did you know South Dakota was the very first state to do video lottery?
Oh, really? I didn't know
we're
that.
cutting edge. Yeah, we led the way. Led the way. South Dakota's video lottery, oldest state-run video lottery in the nation. According to lottery officials, the games have raised so far billions of dollars in revenue for the state. According to South Dakota Lottery, revenue from video lottery has been the second largest source of income to the state general fund since 1992. That's the catch. Remember, it started in 89, and this is general fund since 1992.
Yeah.
Initially, and the main reason this actually got voted in and green-lighted is they put it out as this is going to be for school funding.
For the
Right.
kiddos.
Then they kicked it over in 92 to the general fund, which is basically, we got
We're gonna do whatever we wanna do with this.
Whatever we want.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
So how is it that it got moved over to that? Was that something that the people voted on? Or
No.
they just said,
No, they just
taking
move it. They just take it.
It's our legislature, man. They just said, you know what? let's do this instead. At this point, there are just under 1,300 businesses in the state that offer video lottery, contain about 9,700 machines across the state, and still doing stuff. Keep in mind, when it started out, these machines, right? 20% of the take could go to the state.
Right.
It's 20%. That's how it started.
Right.
Now it's 50. So every dollar that goes into a machine, 50 cents goes to the state of South Dakota.
So huge
owners, operators, they either keep the 50% if they own the machines. If they're leasing the machines from a vendor, then they split it however they split it. And what's fascinating about the whole thing, and I think my biggest, number one, I got a couple problems with it, but it's my problems. I was previously a bar owner.
Oh, yeah.
I think I was running half a dozen machines, whatever. It was just kind of a little side thing, whatever. It wasn't a huge moneymaker. I was robbed.
Oh.
So he broke into the machines, took the money that was in there. Okay? So I'm like, okay. Money's gone. Let's say, I don't know. Let's say it was $900.
Yeah.
So the money's gone, but the state made me pay their 50%. Still, I'm not making this up.
Wow.
Going, here's the police report. Here's the readouts. Here's the money. It's like, whatever you owe us, $450.
Wow.
Or I'll never forget that, ever.
Yeah.
Never, ever.
So you got robbed twice.
I got robbed twice.
Yeah,
exactly.
You got robbed by the robber, and then you got robbed by the state, taking money that you didn't even have.
Yeah, and I want to say in those initial years, this thing was clocking in at around $90 million a year, something like that. Over 2021, state revenue from video lottery exceeded $148 million. Officials expect that number to be higher by the end of this year.
It's a lot of dough.
That is a lot of dough.
Is.
Again, going into a general fund, and you say, well, that's fantastic, all that money. But here's the thing. It's kind of a false economy. So all of those dollars, say that $148 million, well, those dollars would be spent on other things, generating other tax revenues. So it's a lot of gray area in there. It's just kind of a weird deal, you know?
It really is, yeah. Because where would that money be if they weren't sticking it in there? Or would it be? Who knows? You know, because there's also people who do the lottery and then they win money and they spend that on other things too.
Yeah,
so
it's like us three, we gamble constantly. It's all we do.
It's a nightmare.
As soon as we're off the air, we're like right now, I'm itching. I'm itching to get out there.
But we win.
Always. Never lost once.
You know, unlike those other losers.
Actually, let me rephrase that. Typically, Dan and Heidi win. John is done within 3 minutes, and I'm like, I'm going to just sit over here on my phone.
Yeah, me and Heidi rip it up, and John's out pawning his wedding ring.
Yeah, I was like,
it's fantastic.
You give me anything for this? And they're like, no, nothing.
It's a matter of extremes. Anyway, I found that report interesting.
Yeah,
I can see
I
why.
did too.
I also found it interesting. Heidi?
I also found it interesting.
3 for 3, Dan. Good job.
Thanks, guys.
Very good job. By the way, this is a Wednesday. A moment ago, we gave away tickets to
Jeremy Anderson.
Yeah, Jeremy for Generation Radio. I just want to remind people, this coming week, it's next Friday. So this coming week will be your final chance to win tickets to Generation Radio. But
I love this group.
Yeah, you can still buy tickets if you haven't purchased them yet. If you go to our page, you'll see other things as win tickets when you go there. Like if you hover over the Generation Radio photo, if you click on that, it'll take you right to the Grand Falls Casino page to buy your tickets.
And we're going to play Why Are You Calling Me Now?
We'll play that. Yeah. But I just want to let you know. And there's one other thing you can register for that's next Friday, and that's Teresa Caputo. She's the Long Island medium.
I like Teresa.
Yeah, she'll be in Sioux Falls next Friday, and there's a last chance to register to win tickets for that as well. So if you haven't won, if you haven't had a chance to do any of that, you can do it now. sunnyradio.com. Click the big button that says Win Tickets. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show Bonus Hour with Dan Ferris.
While other wireless companies raise their prices, Mint Mobile has taken a different approach. You can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Let's say that again so you hear it right. $15 a month for unlimited premium wireless. Why would we do that? Because we can. If you're paying too much for your wireless phone, it's time for a Mintervention from Mint Mobile. You can sign up today at Mintervention.com. Premium wireless for just $15 a month at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Here's your Market Beat Minute for Wednesday, September 14th, 2022. Equities plummeted Tuesday. The CPI came in hotter than expected in all comparisons, belying the idea that consumer inflation had peaked, which puts increased pressure on the FOMC to act. The news not only points to hot inflation, but an acceleration at the consumer level that may not be finished. The FOMC is meeting next week and has been indicating a willingness to fight inflation that could lead to another 75 basis point hike or more. The odds of a 75 basis point hike hit 100% following the CPI news. And the CME's FedWatch tool is pricing in a 35% chance for a historically high 100 basis point interest rate hike. The takeaway from the news is far-reaching and ends with the earnings outlook for the S&P 500. Inflation is cutting into the bottom line for most companies, and the FOMC interest rate hikes are going to cap business and other economic activities. The bottom line is the hurricane predicted by Jamie Dimon last spring is now upon us, and it looks like a bad one. You can get the inside track at marketbeatminute.com.